Anyways, top 5, thumbnail right there, zombies maps in my opinion. So of course this is my opinion, it's probably not going to fully match yours, but I just want to talk about my favorite zombies maps. These are the ones I find myself revisiting the most, and I find myself enjoying the most. Anyways, number 5, town zombies. Most people don't put town in the top 5, they probably won't even put it top 10, maybe even top 20. But for me, I will. And my rationale is I think it is the best casual zombies experience offered to date. It's so simplistic, but I feel like, some maps are too simplistic, like Bus Depot or Knocked. This is the perfect amount of having everything you need, but not giving you too much to do. There's 3 doors, and you got pack, perks, box, wall weapons. That's about it. Now, there is one big issue, which is the lava, of course. It would be so much better if there was a perk, like a PhD flopper type perk that just completely took away fire damage, or at least reduced it. But, what can you do? It's not the biggest problem because it does actually kind of help you kill zombies faster. It lowers their health a bit, but they do explode. So it's like a little trade-off, but, it's just such a fun map. Playing with friends, or even playing with solo, just doing challenges, going for high rounds. It's such a fun map. You barely have to do any setup. You don't have to do fucking anything. You just load in and you play zombies. There's no extra, gotta go here, do these steps, gotta do this, gotta do that before I can actually start enjoying the map. No. You drop in, round 1, enjoy the map. Now, moving away from the casual zombies, we've got at number 4, Mr. Call of the Dead. Now this map is from Black Ops 1. Community remade it in Black Ops 3. Dude, the Black Ops 3 version is so fucking sexy. I'm probably going to put gameplay of that instead of BO1, just because it looks better, and it fixes the ammo issues of the guns in BO1. So, let's be real. Black Ops 1, it's my personal favorite zombies, but its biggest issue is the fucking ammo count on some of these guns. You can only use, the HK-21, RPK, Galil, and shit past round 30, otherwise you're just gonna be out of ammo within a round. But minus the general BO1 issues, dude, this map is great. Yes, the setup is a little tedious. It's a huge sprawling map. To get Jug, you have to open 6 doors and run 3.5 miles and shit, but it could be worse. You could be playing Transit. So to keep that in mind, once you get it set up, it goes from being one of the toughest maps to one of the easiest maps. The Easter egg is, dude, you could do the Easter egg. I've seen people do it in 4 minutes speedruns. It's not a hard Easter egg at all. And then when you finish the Easter egg, which is really easy, you get super good reward. You get the Wonder Waff off George whenever you kill him as a death machine. And people will be like, you gotta kill George. Is it that hard to kill George? Yeah, he's tanky. 250,000 health per person. But I feel like once you've got a good weapon set up, it's not that hard to kill George. You have the scavenger, you have the ray gun, you have the law. You just pop shots at him every so often. And then, within no time, he's gonna die. You get the death machine pickup, you just spray it at his head, So it's not like George is invincible. And yeah, he's a little annoying the way he follows you around. But dude, killing him and getting the Wonder Waff and a free perk, I'd definitely take those rewards for having to deal with George. Now, there is one issue in this map. Actually, 2. First is the VR-11. That's one of the Wonder Weapons. And, besides for the Easter egg, because you need it for the Easter egg, dude, this thing sucks. It was pretty much made for the Easter egg. I don't know why anyone would actually use it. Even in co-op, when you can shoot your teammate and give them insta-kill. Maybe, but that just takes up a weapon slot, and there's already a way better Wonder Weapon in the Scavenger. On this map, the Scavenger is just a beautiful weapon. First of all, it looks great. It's the first, and I want to say only sniper Wonder Weapon we've had. And man, this thing just decimates hordes. Without PhD, you're probably going to kill yourself with it. But with PhD, like, I mean, you're destined to make it to a high round unless you fuck up with it. The second, like, I guess, downside is the fog. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's just, like, it turns the map, which is already, like, it doesn't have the biggest color palette, you know, it's in Siberia, there's snow everywhere, it's a gray sky. But when the fog rolls in, oh my god, it is just pure gray screen. Like, that doesn't take away from the gameplay experience. Like, you can see enough around you so zombies won't, like, sneak up on you. But, like, you just look off into the distance and you can, like, barely see the mystery box light. You can't even see, like, parts of the map. So it's, like, there is the fog, which I guess fits the setting. You know, Siberia is probably not the most clear weather. But minus those two small problems, like, it's just a great map. One of the best in Black Ops 1. Yeah, number 4. Coming in at number 3 is 5. My favorite map on Black Ops 1. And also, of course, this is a little biased. It's my list, of course. But this was also the first Zombies map I ever played back in 2010 when BO1 came out. Now, I don't know why me and my brother didn't ever play Kino. Like, he's the one who loaded it up. So, hey, I mean, it was his choice. But I respect it because 5 is where the men are made. It is a tough map. It's literally the polar opposite to Kino. Kino, it's like the setup is super easy. You got very open training space. You got a great wonder weapon. You got a 5, and you got a very tight map. You got a zombie boss that comes in and steals your shit. Like, you have a pretty good training spot in the war room, but, like, compared to Kino, it's still very tight. And then the Winter's Fury. Now, you may say, well, it sounds like you fucking hate this map. And no, I don't. I'm saying it's a tough map, but I feel like it's very rewarding. Like, it's a very rewarding feeling to get set up. In Kino, it's like, what? Oh, I hit the box, I got the, I almost said jet gun. I got the thunder gun. Woohoo, woo, I'm going around 40. But, like, you don't really have that on 5, but that makes getting to those high rounds that much more rewarding. Because it's like, you load in, you're like, am I going to go down on round 10? Is the Pentagon Thief going to steal all my shit and ruin my game? But the games where you do get good guns, and you can kill the Pentagon Thief and get the Bonfire Sale, which is the best drop. It gives you all the portals in the map, go to Pack-a-Punch, and it costs 1,000. So, I mean, like, the setup is tough, but the game still gives you ways to make the setup easier and to get you through. Now, the setting of the map is probably one of my favorite settings that they've ever done for a map. It's in the Pentagon, and you got the 4 characters, JFK, Fidel Castro, Richard Nixon, and Robert McNamara. All real people from history in a real historical setting. I mean, that just makes it feel that much cooler. It's like, damn, what if this actually happened? Like, you don't know what's actually going on in the Pentagon. They could be cooking up some crazy shit down there. But I mean, the map layout, it's really unique. It's like separate sections that are like not accessible from each other. Or like that are separate from each other, but they're connected through like a travel. Because you spawn in, you're in the office area. And there's like the little hallways on each side, one with quick revive, one with the elevator. Take the elevator down, you got the war room. You know, that's like the most open area. You can train in the bottom. Don't train in the railings. The upper railing part is super tight. You will go down. And then you got the lab. The lab, that's where the Nova crawlers spawn in. That's where the box spawns. The lab is hectic. But if you can manage to get good weapons before you turn on the power, you've got a reasonable chance at making it to a high round if you can kill the Pentagon Thief. And, like, yeah, it is a kind of a tight map, so it sucks that the wonder weapon is the Winter's Howl, which, dude, like, I don't know, that thing is just so underwhelming. I feel like past like round 15 even with the unpacked version, it takes multiple shots to even freeze a zombie. So like at that point, why would you take that when you got a perfectly good ray gun on the map? That's what I usually do. Like hell, I'll even take like a spas over the fucking Winter's Howl. Like That thing will probably kill the Pentagon Thief easier. But yeah, I mean, even though it is a hard map, it's just one of my personal favorites. It's always like a challenge. It's not something that like, it's not like a town where you just load in, you can chill. This is something where like, I'm like, okay, let's see like if I got it. Like that's how I check if I still got the skills, is I hop on town and I try to go for a high round. Number 2, so now these next 2 are definitely ones that you'd see on the list. These are probably ones you will expect to be on if you like play zombies. Number 2 is Origins. I mean, man, so this is the first of like the prequel timeline. It started in, I want to say the map takes place in like 1918, right after World War I in the trenches. I mean, man, the setting is great. Like, yeah, it's kind of bleak, because fucking World War I trench, it's just shell holes everywhere, it's all dirt, you're in the trenches. But I mean, like, I feel like the setting is still cool, and man, there's just so much shit to do in this map. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of the quest type maps. Like BO3, I didn't really play those maps that much. BO4, I only really played 9. Like, I'm just not a big fan of having to, oh, go around, do this, go around, do that, blah, blah, blah. Origins, in the next one, I make an exception for. Mainly because I watched a lot of guides when they first came out, so like I actually know how to do a good amount of the shit without having to search it up. I feel like if I knew how to do the BO3 maps, I'd appreciate them more. But like, man, I don't know. On one hand, it's like really innovative. There's so much shit to do. You got the 4 stabs, you got the 1-inch punch, you got the fucking airstrike. You got so much to do. Then on the other hand, it's like, it's not the most accessible map for first-time zombies players. I mean, yeah, you can get through without looking up guides, but you're not gonna get all you need. Like, getting the stabs, I feel like is pretty straightforward compared to some of the other wonder weapons in later installments of zombies. But, like, after the stabs, shit, just gray area. Like, the upgrades are complicated. The Easter egg, dude, I tried to do the solo Easter egg. Played a 2-hour game, I like went down round 30. Fuck. Yeah, that Easter egg is not it for solo. It is definitely a challenging map to get set up on, just because like there's a lot of doors to open. You gotta go power up all the generators. And then you also have 2 boss zombies in the Panzer Soldat and the Templars. And now, while that may seem like, yeah, it's a little challenging, it also just spices things up more. Because, you know, you do get a little bored of just running around shooting the same zombies over and over again. And so now, hey, we have a robot zombie to shoot at. Or, hey, the zombies are coming to steal back the generators. So, I mean, it's definitely a very innovative map. I can't deny that. I mean, the set is just wonderful. You look at the skybox, you see planes battling out. There's a blimp. You see the big-ass robots walking in the distance. I mean, the theme of the map is great. And yeah, it's definitely not the most accessible. You probably have to Google some shit. But I mean, it's definitely worth learning that map. It's just great. And there's just so much to like aid you along the way. You can get the Maxis drone and get a free Pack-a-Punch LMG. If you get the golden shovel and zombie blood, you can get more perk slots. Like, it's got so much to do in this map that it's like there's never any downtime where it's like I'm just killing zombies. I'm like, okay, now I gotta do this step. Now I gotta do this. And so sometimes I'm not trying to play that. So that's when I boot up my town. When I'm trying to go on a quest, man, Origins is one of the best. Holy shit, that rhymed! Sorry about that. Anyways, number 1. I mean, is it anything else than Mob of the Dead? This map's atmosphere is unmatched. Now again, I'm not the biggest fan of the quest type maps, but this is one that I make very high exception for. Because I feel like it's not too much that you have to really manage. There's only really get the tomahawk, get the plane parts, get the spork, upgrade the tomahawk, or upgrade tomahawk, then get the spork. I mean, yeah, it's like there's some stuff you have to Google, like upgrading the tomahawk, or getting the spork. But like the steps aren't hard to remember, so after your first time, like you should be good to just do it by memory. I know all that shit. Maybe it's because I played the map a lot, but like the setup it's a little challenging just because again, like you're really far away from Jug. Jug's always great to have, but you have Afterlife to help you out. You know, if you go down, you're not down for good. You don't have to buy Quick Revive. But you have to be cognizant of how you're using your Afterlife. You can't just spam all your lives every round. That being said, though, Afterlife really just helps, you know, soften the blow of going down early. And it gives you another chance to get back. And, you know, it's just a cool mechanic to be able to, like, fly around as a ghost, turn on shit in the map, access some little secret areas that you couldn't normally. It's a fun time. But I mean, man, mainly the atmosphere of this map. It's got like a pretty somber atmosphere with just the music, like the round change music, just the music when you go onto the bridge, like it's somber map. You've got like a very, I guess, demonic imagery with like, you go into the shower, there's just a body is on meat hooks. You go into the office of the warden, there's just writing all over the walls and blood and stuff. It's definitely like a very demented map, but I mean, as far as a zombie apocalypse in a prison goes, I mean, they hit the mark on the head. I mean, Alcatraz is just such a cool setting in general, like a fucking prison on a rock. And then to put a zombies map on it with 4 characters all voiced by like famous voice actors from mobster movies, dude. You've got one of the best casts besides for the original 4. You've got one of the best like round change music, ambient music. Dude, it's just a stacked map. And I haven't even talked about the wonder weapon, the Blundergat. First of all, you can get it for free. You don't even need to spend time spinning the box. Like most of the time, I don't even spin the box when I play that map until after I've already come back from the first time on the plane. I just buy like the Tommy or the Uzi, get the Tomahawk, and then get the free Blundergat. Like, yeah, it's another one of those things, like, you gotta know where to throw the Tomahawk to retrieve the skulls, but it's something you Google once or twice, and then you know the steps by heart, and you just go on. The Blundergat is just such a cool weapon, so it's like a big-ass shotgun. It's got, like, a wolf set on the back, chains on the side. It just looks badass, and then it has 4 different variants. So there's a normal Blundergat, the upgraded Blundergat, which is the sweeper, and then you can also build the Acid Gat kit. So you put the normal Blundergat in, you get the Acid Gat, and if you pack a punch the Acid Gat, you get the Vitriolic Withering. It shoots a monkey bomb pretty much, or 3 monkey bombs. It just attracts the zombies and then blows up with acid, just crazy damage. It's got a pretty good ammo for a wonder weapon. You can spam it pretty well. I mean, it's just such a badass looking gun, and I feel like it really fits the theme of the map. But I mean, yeah, just the atmosphere and the ambience of this map are untouched. The story is pretty cool about how they're like trapped in an eternal cycle of just dying and coming back and fighting zombies and dying. It's, I mean, what can I say? It's just a perfect map. If you want both a story and a great gameplay, play Mob of the Dead. But yeah, this has been my top 5 zombies maps. Of course, you may not agree with my opinion, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. And for sitting here listening to me ramble on about zombies, give you guys a little cheers. Oh man, These liquid diamonds pens, bro. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, just be on the lookout for new videos. I'm trying to stay consistent. Peace!